Hello, 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 everyone. This is Sherry Jones of Sherry Speaks Life, your Speak Life midwife, and I am here for another Speak Life Moment show. Hope that you all are doing well today. And today we are talking about I can show you better than I can tell you. And I know I like to say that with a little attitude because there's attitude that comes with saying that. I can show you better than I can tell you. Because a lot of times we talk the talk, but we don't always follow it up with action. And action is what's going to help us to create boundaries and have healthy relationships. And that's what we've been talking about all month long. Every topic that we have shared with the Speak Life Moments was about creating boundaries. We started out with just say no. Then we talked about, I can't remember what the second point was, y'all. I know last week we talked about the golden rule. And now we're talking about I can show you better than I can tell you. So it'll probably come back to me what the second one was. And anybody that's watched it, y'all tell me. But again, we want to talk about tonight. I can show you better than I can tell you, and how that is going to help us to create the boundaries that we need. Okay. And I see we have people coming on. Hi, Gloria. Thank you so much. Blessings to you as well. And so, our topic, I can show you better than I can tell you. When we're talking about setting boundaries, we want to show people how they are to treat us. And so you may say, Sherry, how can I show people? I can say it all day long. I can tell people how I want them to treat me. I can tell them the boundaries that I've set for myself. But how do I show them? Well, the first thing you need to do is walk the walk. As we mentioned before, a lot of times we talk the talk. We're full of nah, but we don't walk the walk. And by walking the walk, we are the example. We are the example of what we'll tolerate, the boundaries that we'll accept, and what we expect from other people. And for me, I have zero tolerance for foolishness. I don't know how many people out here are over 40, but I can tell you when I turned 40, some of the stuff that I tolerated when I was 20, some of the stuff I tolerated when I was 30, now that I'm in my 40s, I have zero tolerance for foolishness. And so, how do I walk that walk? I also don't create foolishness. If I have zero tolerance for foolishness, then I'm not the one that's going to perpetuate the foolishness. I'm going to have a level head. I'm going to talk to people with respect. I'm going to treat people, as we talked about last week, the golden rule, treat people as I want them to treat me. So I'm going to walk the walk. I'm not going to be the one to start arguments and to be petty Betty and all this stuff if that's not how I want people to treat me. If I don't want people to come at me with all that cray cray, then I can't come with them with the cray cray. I have to walk and hold myself to a higher standard. I have to hold myself up to the standard that I expect from other people. If I expect them to come at me correct, then I have to come to them correct. I have to be about my business. I have to be respectful. I have to be knowledgeable. I can't just come at people just popping off about anything and I don't know what I'm talking about. I got to do my research. I got to do my due diligence. I got to make sure when I come to people and I share something with them that I have an understanding, or if I don't have an understanding, I have to ask questions. There's nothing wrong with not knowing something. It's okay to ask questions. And you want people to come to you and ask you questions in a respectful way. So that's how you have to come at other people. So you have to walk the walk. You must walk the walk. Be the example of what you want. If you want someone to respect your space, to respect your time, then you have to do that same thing for other people. A lot of times we abuse people's time. We waste time. We know people are busy and we'll still come at them with something. We'll know that they've set a schedule of certain things that they're supposed to be doing and we'll interrupt their schedule. Time is something you can't get back. And so if someone shares with me their time, or if I have a meeting with someone and they've designated a certain amount of time to be with me, I'm going to make sure that it's productive. I'm going to make sure that I have my stuff together and that when I come to that meeting, I'm prepared. Because I expect someone to do the same thing for me. I don't expect people to waste my time. If you call me and say, Sherry, I need you to help me with something, and that's the main point of our conversation is me helping you with something, then I expect that you come with your stuff together. You come with your questions that you want to ask me. You know what you want me to help you with, and we work on it. And I do the same thing for other people. If I have a question for you, if I have something that I want you to help me with, I'm going to come with my stuff together and I'm going to be ready. So we have to walk the walk. We have to respect other people's time. We have to respect other people's space. We have to come correct when we talk to people. We have to be respectful. We have to be nice and kind. That seems so hard nowadays, doesn't it? Just to be nice and kind. So many people in this world do not know how to be nice and kind. But if I want someone to be nice and kind to me, then I'm going to be nice and kind to them. So walk the walk. That's the first point. So that's the first way to show people better than you can tell them. Be that example. Then the second point is do what you say you're going to do. And that can be a hard one. Because sometimes we say stuff just to hear ourselves talk. I'm guilty. I've done it before. I have said stuff just to hear myself talk. Not really meaning what I'm saying. Or I said it because it sounded nice, because it sounded like the right thing to do. But I had no intentions, or maybe I had good intentions, but I really wasn't serious about it. And so if you want to show people better than you can tell them, then you have to do what you say you're going to do. If I tell you that I'm going to do something for you, then I'm going to do it. If I tell you that I'm available to meet with you at such and such a time, I'm going to be available. Now, if something happens and I can't make it, then I'm going to be respectful of you and I'm going to contact you and say, I'm so sorry, I cannot make it. Can we reschedule? If I tell you, speaking of boundaries, so if I tell you, I expect you to be respectful of me. And if you can't be respectful of me, then I'm not going to talk to you. Then I need to stick to that. So the next time you do something disrespectful, I need to not talk to you, right? Because that's what I said I was going to do. That might not be a forever thing. Like I'm not going to talk to you forever, but I'm not going to talk to you for a period of time because I'm setting that boundary and I'm telling you that this is my expectation and this is the consequence of you not fulfilling that expectation. And so I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do. Right? That's what we got to do. Oh, and I see Life Coach Paige. Hi, Paige. She's hopped in on Instagram. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. If you're on Facebook, and I can't shout you out unless you leave me a comment, but I see Sondera is on. So thank you all so much. So just going back to that second point, do what you say you're going to do. Okay. I see Daniela says right. That's right. That seems so simple, doesn't it? Do what you say you're going to do. But that just seems to be so hard for so many of us. We just say stuff just to say it, and we don't mean it. And that damages our relationships with other people, because then we become untrustworthy. And who wants to deal with someone that's untrustworthy? Who wants to work with someone that's untrustworthy? I don't. So if I can't trust you to do what you said you're going to do, then how can you come at me and set boundaries with me with how you want me to treat you? So in order for us to be able to set boundaries for other people, we have to be the boundary that we want to set. Respect people and do what you say you're going to do. Right? And then last but not least, this is actually my favorite quote. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. I love, 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 love that quote. It speaks volumes. It's simple. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. You have to be convicted about something. You have to have some type of standards that you are standing on. And that's how you can show people better than you can tell them. You have to stand by your morals. You have to stand by your convictions. You have to stand by your thoughts and your feelings about things. Because if you don't stand up for yourself and you don't stand for the things that you value, then you'll just fall for anything. Anything will come your way. Somebody can tell you anything and you will accept it because you have nothing to stand on. You do not have a firm foundation to stand on. Your morals and your values and your convictions are your foundation. That's what you stand on. Just like a tree, and a tree has roots, and the roots go way down. And those roots, they may be thin, but there's a lot of them and they're entwined in there. And they are holding that big tree firm. What are your roots? What are your beliefs? What are your morals and your values? That's what you have to stand on. And that's how you can show people better than you can tell them, because you can demonstrate how you feel. You can demonstrate your values, demonstrate your morals, and how you live your life. How do you live your life? Do you live a life of integrity? Do you live a life of standard, of respect, of morals? How do you live your life? That's how you show someone better than you can tell them. Your life must be the example. And you must stand for something so you do not fall for anything. And that doesn't mean you're so rigid that, no one can tell you anything and you can't learn anything. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is you have to have that foundation. If you don't have that foundation, then you have nothing. My foundation, I'm a Christian, so my foundation is my faith. It's my relationship with Christ. That's what I stand on. And that's what everything I do in my life is measured against. Am I operating as a Christian? Am I operating in Christian love? Am I operating as Jesus, as Christ would want me to operate? Am I treating people by the golden rule, as the way I want to be treated? Am I showing them godly love? Am I speaking in truth? Am I uplifting my brother and sister? Am I edifying my brother and sister? Am I speaking positivity and not negativity? And if I have something, not so pleasant to say, am I doing it in the right way? Am I being tactful about it? Am I standing up for my morals and my values, even if it's unpopular? Even if what I think just goes against the grain of everything my friends think, or everything my friends are doing, do I have the boldness, the conviction, and the confidence to stand up for it against the peer pressure? As long as I know that I'm standing for what Christ wants, I'm standing for my foundation. So whatever your foundation is, are you willing to stand up for your foundation no matter what everybody else around you is doing? That's how you show them better than you can tell them. Don't be like some leaf just flapping around in the wind, just blah, 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 blah. Be that tree with those strong roots and that strong foundation, standing on those convictions, standing on those morals and those values, so you can show people how you want to be treated and show people the boundaries that you have set in your life. I'm just looking at some comments here. Daniela says, love that. I will quote you. What are your roots? Thank you. Thank you so much, Daniela. Yes. What are your roots? And then she also says, great self-reflection questions. Thank you so much. But that's what we have to stand on. And that's how we are going to show people better than we can tell them. What are you standing on? What is your foundation? Is your foundation your faith? Is your foundation your family? And you can have more than one foundation. You have your faith, which you're rooted and grounded in, but then you can have other things that are also foundations for you, your family, the love that you have for your family, your morals, your values, your integrity. All of these things are foundations. And that's how you're going to show people better than you can tell them. All right. So I'm going to recap what we talked about, and you all, let me know which one of these points that I'm making is resonating most to you. So if it's the first one, with number 1 is walk the walk, give me a 1. If walk the walk is resonating with you, that we have to walk the walk and we must be the example. We must be the standard that we are trying to set for ourselves. We can't tell other people that we have this boundary, that you have to respect my time. You can't come to me with foolishness. You can't come to me with all this stuff. When we do the exact opposite, and we come to people with foolishness, and we don't respect people's time, and we're rude and we're nasty and we're whatever. So walk the walk. Don't just talk the talk. And then number 2 is do what you say you're going to do. If that's resonating with you, give me a 2. To do what you say you're going to do. Don't just say something for the sake of saying it. Don't just say something on a whim. I'm just going to say something. I'm just going to tell them what they want to hear. Because we talked about it before about lies. You don't want to lie, not even a white lie. Because when you tell that one lie, then you got to tell another lie to cover up that lie. Then you got to tell another lie to cut, and then you don't even remember what you said. So let's be truthful and let's do what we said we're going to do. And then lastly, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. If that's resonating with you, give me a 3. You have to think about your roots. Think about what your foundation is. Think about what you're standing on. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Anything. Anybody will just be able to come and just tell you any old thing all willy-nilly. That you won't have anything to stand on. So make sure that you have something to stand on. That foundation. Those morals, those values. And that's how you're going to show people better than you can tell them. And that's how you are going to create boundaries. And that's what we've talked about all week. Oh, the second one, honesty is the best policy. I remember now, y'all, when I was talking about the lies. So this was our last message about creating boundaries. All month we've been talking about creating boundaries. So first week we talked about, the first Monday we talked about just say no. That no is a complete sentence. You can say no. And you don't have to justify saying no. And if no is your answer, it doesn't matter who's asking. That was one of those, what we talked about then. Then the second week, we talked about honesty is the best policy. Don't tell those lies. Be truthful, especially if you want other people to be truthful to you. Then last week, we talked about, remember the golden rule. Treat other people how you want to be treated. And not necessarily, I made the point, not necessarily how you treat yourself, because sometimes we treat ourselves badly. And we have to work on that. We got to work on how we treat ourselves. But we don't want to treat people how we treat ourselves. We want to treat people how we want to be treated. And we have to be that. And then tonight, we talked about, I can show you better than I can tell you. Let's show people how we want to be treated so that we can create those boundaries. And so we are going to share our affirmation. Okay. And our affirmation is coming from my book, Speak Life Moments, A Transformational Journey. So all month we have been creating boundaries, and that's day 5 of the devotional. Okay. But we're going to read our affirmation. I want you to say it aloud with me. Get it all in your spirit, in your belly. And we are going to stand and create boundaries. Okay. So our affirmation says, I will surround myself with relationships that uplift and edify me. I have the power to set boundaries and show people how to treat me. I will no longer accept less than my worth. That's our affirmation. That's what we've been talking about all month long. And that's what I want you to remember. Okay? We're going to do it. Just say it one more time. Y'all indulge me. I want y'all to really feel it. I want it to be in your belly. I know I can't hear you, but I want you to repeat after me and really, really, really feel this affirmation. Okay? I will surround yourself with relationships that uplift and edify me. I have the power to set boundaries and show people how to treat me. I will no longer accept less than my worth. Okay. That is our affirmation for this month for creating boundaries. If you enjoyed this affirmation, if you enjoyed this month of creating boundaries, like I said, this is just one of the lessons in Speak Life Moments. It's 21-day devotional. So there's 21 days, and in each day I share lessons that I learned. And creating boundaries was one of those lessons. And I share my personal testimony related to it. I share the affirmations, prayer, and also reflection questions. So if you would like to purchase your autographed copy of this book, Speak Life Moments, Transformational Journey, Or if you would like to order it on Amazon, all you have to do is click the link in the description of this video. It's a link, and it'll show you where you can just click a button and go right to where you can order the book. Okay. So that's what we talked about this month. I hope that you all enjoyed this creating boundaries lesson, and that you remember the things that we learned this month. Just say no. Honesty is still the best policy. Remember the golden rule, and I can show you better than I can tell you. If you missed any of these videos, these lessons, just go back and watch the lives. If you're on IG, watch it on IGTV. If you're on Facebook, you can just go on my Sherry Speaks Life page and look at the videos. Okay. Make sure that again, you click that link in the description of the video. You can get your Speak Life checklist, and that checklist actually gives you 7 ways that you can make speaking life a lifestyle. Okay, because that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. Sherry Speaks Life. That's why I'm your Speak Life midwife, because I have been able to make speaking life a lifestyle despite the things that I've gone through in my life. I don't look like what I've been through, but despite all of that, I am able to make speaking life a lifestyle, and that's what I want for you. So you can click that link, get your Speak Life checklist, and also sign up for my Sherry Speaks Life community. You will get weekly inspirational messages and also information about my podcast. My podcast is We Are the Church with Sherry Jones. And on that podcast, we talk about today's issues from a Christ perspective. And the purpose is I want Christians to not just go to church, but be the church. We have to be who God has called us to be as the body of Christ. And so on the podcast, I've interviewed some dynamic guests, and we've been able to talk about various issues that are affecting the church and church culture and current events. We've talked about a lot of great things. So please, again, you can click that link in the description of the video. And I'll also give you links, a link where you can click and watch the podcast. Okay. But thank you all so much for tuning in with me this evening. I thank y'all for taking this journey with me on IG. I see Gail Glover's on. She's been on my podcast. Awesome. And then Frisky Thoughts. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate each and every one of you. Next week, I am taking a little bit of a hiatus. I'm taking a little break, a little social media break next week. So there will not be a live video next week, but I will share like a throwback video. I'll kind of schedule something to post for you all at 9 o'clock. But I'm going to take a social media hiatus, kind of regroup on some things. And when I come back the following week, we'll be pumping with gas, and we'll have another Speak Life Moment show for you. And we'll be talking about, another theme for next month. I haven't decided what that's going to be yet, but look forward to it. Okay. But you all take care. You all be blessed. I love you, love you, love you so much with the love of Christ. Love you, IG. Love you, Facebook. Love you, YouTube. I see on IG, Dear Mom Podcast is hopped in on. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm actually about to hop off, so please watch the replay. It will be on IGTV. You all watch the replay. Love you. You all take care. Don't forget, click the link in the description of the video so that you can get, and for IG, the link in my bio, all the information about Sherry Speaks Life. And again, I'll miss y'all next week, but I'll be back the following week. Take care and love you with the love of Christ. Bye-bye.